District. The Richmond Baseball Initiative proposal calls for a new stadium in the heart of the Bottom. The entrance would be right near the 17th Street Farmers Market. And while some groups have come out in opposition to the plans, today 28 restaurants, retail shops, and other Shockoe Bottom business owners announced they are backing it. The restaurant owner heading up the group says it would create a trickle-down effect.
It's more than just, this is more about just the ballpark. This is about the first of more retail coming into the area. This is an anchor tenant that also has proposed additional retail and additional restaurant involved with it. Additional retail and additional restaurant that is of a corporate type level, which in turn raises rents, which in turn raises the level of quality of business people that you get down in the area.
RBI is expected to present the plans for the stadium to Richmond City Council at their meeting Monday, and a number of people have already signed up to speak in opposition to the proposal. Well, hundreds of volunteers took advantage of today's sunny skies to make at least one area neighborhood a little brighter. The volunteers targeted 50 homes in the Belmead community. As Tara Morgan reports, area seniors can now sit back and enjoy the renovations.
The sounds of hard labor echoed through the normally quiet Belmead community. Rebuilding Together recipient 73-year-old Willie Mae White watched from across the street as volunteers made some improvements to her front porch, kitchen, and bathroom.
I was glad because it needed a whole lot of work done in there, and I ain't had the money to do it.
Volunteer Kerry Ayers says his group couldn't have picked more of a deserving person.
When you see how appreciative Miss White is that, her husband passed away last year, and this is, these are tasks that he would have been accomplishing, and we're able to come help her out.
Around the corner, Lloyd Fleming Sr. got the same first-class treatment.
It's just amazing. I'm just overjoyed about it. I just don't know what to say because I'm just really overjoyed about it. I never thought this was happening to me, though.
Volunteers put a fresh coat of paint on his front porch along with other repairs inside. They also did some yard work. This community falls under the city's 8th district.
This neighborhood has been long overlooked, and it is a great beginning to a transformation of a community that has been overlooked for so long.
Councilwoman Jackie Jackson says the Rebuilding Together project inspired other homeowners to do a little sprucing up themselves.
And then we're getting a bigger bang for our buck because now not only the houses we're working on, the other people are fixing up their houses as well.
For Fleming, this much attention is overwhelming.
I don't know what I'm going to do with myself because it's going to be like something brand new to me. It's going to be like...
Some 1,800 volunteers participated in today's project. Along with repairs to homes, volunteers also worked on a nearby community center and 2 elementary schools. Richmond's Blackwell community continues to grow, and that means hundreds of new home ownership opportunities. Richmond Redevelopment and Housing Authority broke ground yesterday on 188 single-family homes in Blackwell. It's the final phase of a major revitalization in that community. RRHA is using a nearly $27 million federal grant from the Hope 6 program to fund the project. City leaders say it has led to less crime in Blackwell.
Once you have greater home ownership, you have people who have pride in that ownership, and they're prideful not just in their home, but what goes on around their home. And that's where we're able to get stronger civic organizations and community watches.
The Hope 6 grant from Housing and Urban Development is also being used to build homes in other parts of the city. Dozens of local high school students will hammer their summer away building a new home for a local family. This will be the site of the latest Habitat for Humanity house. Students from several area high schools and church groups will build a home for Sabrina Morris and her children. And while it's going to take a lot of hard work from those teens, the future homeowner is working hard to be ready to move in.
I have most of what I need that's, in my house. I would change the bathroom colors, and I get to pick out my new ceiling fans, and I get to have a dishwasher, yes.
The house should be finished August 14th. And it was a perfect day to get out and work on all those home improvement projects. Meteorologist Amy Carr joins us now with the first check on the forecast. Hey, Amy.
Yeah, real pleasant outside this afternoon. Some cooler air has been making its way in here. For the past 7 days, we've been dealing with temperatures well above average, 80 degrees or well above that, actually, in some spots. Today, we had a return to closer to seasonable temperatures. It was only 7 degrees above the average today. 78 was our high temperature this afternoon. 65 our low this morning, kind of mild for a morning low. Today's rain, 1/100th of an inch, bringing the April total to just under 3 inches. Let's take a look at current temperatures now across the area. Arby's WeatherNet showing 57 in King George at this hour, 62 Glen Allen, Dinwiddie 63 and 61 in Hopewell. So temperatures in some spots already cooler than last night's lows. So this is what we can expect for tomorrow morning. Bottoming off, it looks like, in the upper 40s, and then by noontime climbing to around 60 degrees. And it looks like we might be dodging a little bit of rainfall too, but is it really going to dampen your tomorrow plans for later in the week? Details on that, Michael, coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Okay, thanks, Amy. We have a traffic alert for tomorrow. The Huguenot Bridge will close Sunday morning for routine maintenance from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Your alternate routes will be River Road and the Willie Bridge. Richmond police are making their presence known in the Shockoe Bottom this weekend. It's all part of a new initiative to deter crime in the popular nightclub district. The department is increasing patrols and stationing undercover officers across the area. Police say if they have to, they will even reroute traffic. Last Sunday night, police responded to a string of shootings downtown. In one of those incidents, 3 people were shot outside a Shockoe Bottom restaurant. Henrico County police still need help finding a man who hasn't been seen since Wednesday. Police say 52-year-old Alan Douglas Moran, who was last seen in Glen Allen, is in need of medication. Moran stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighs 150 pounds, and has a scar on his neck. If you know anything about Moran's whereabouts, please call Henrico Police at 501-5000. Some state lawmakers are spending the weekend talking taxes. Senators are in private budget talks and negotiations this weekend, trying to come up with an acceptable tax proposal for the state's budget. A vote is expected Tuesday. The Senate Finance Chairman says they haven't reached an agreement yet, but he feels it's time to put a compromise on the table. Well, you can get a taste of what Virginia's wines are like at a special festival this weekend. The annual James River Wine Festival is going on at the Boulders. More than a dozen area wineries are out handing out samples, and there's live music, arts and crafts, and food as well. Fun continues tomorrow from noon until 6. Tickets are $15 at the door. The festival benefits Diversity Thrift. A deadly day in Iraq as at least 5 soldiers and 2 sailors are killed. Find out about the latest tactic insurgents are using. Plus, thousands demonstrated in Washington, D.C. earlier today. Now the city is preparing for another massive demonstration tomorrow. We'll explain next.
If a truck's performance went, and the overall experience, would you buy it again? For the 8th consecutive year, Ford has more repeat buyers than any other make, more than Chevy, Dodge, or Toyota. Right now, get 0% financing or up to $3,000 cash back, plus $750 military appreciation cash for a total of up to $3,750 cash back on F-Series. Visit your neighborhood Ford store today.
Only one hospital in Central Virginia is an NCI-designated cancer center, where a team approach examines every possible option in cancer care, uses exclusive technology to more accurately target and destroy tumors, and develops new anti-cancer drugs for clinical trials. Because when it comes to cancer, the Massey Cancer Center isn't just working to fight it, but to cure it.
At some point, someone will experience a sudden cardiac arrest. Their heart's normal rhythm will just stop. We can't know when or where it will happen, but we can do our best to be prepared. Community and business leaders in Richmond are placing AEDs throughout the area. Our hope is that they're not needed, but if they are, they can save lives.
The all-new Dodge Durango. With 5-star, the highest frontal crash test rating. And all-new power, all-new room, all-new ride, all-new interior, all-new capability, all-new capacity. One part power, one part comfort. The all-new Dodge Durango. 0% financing or $2,000 in combined cash allowances, plus a great warranty gets you the best values in America.
A big protest in the streets of Washington, D.C. this afternoon. Anti-globalization demonstrators chanted that they were going to shut down the World Bank. They called on the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank to cancel the debt of poor countries. In the past, anti-globalization protesters have clashed with police as they demonstrated. Today's protests were peaceful. And the nation's capital is bracing for a major march tomorrow. Thousands of women's rights activists are expected for the pro-choice March for Women's Lives. Anti-abortion counter-rallies are also expected. Groups on both sides of the issue held demonstrations today in advance of tomorrow's big march. Democratic presidential candidate John Kerry made a trip to the hospital today. A campaign spokesperson says Kerry went in to have his shoulder checked out before he went on a bike ride. He had surgery on his back in March after hurting his shoulder on his campaign bus. Kerry was able to take that bike ride and reportedly didn't have any problems. A deadly day in Iraq as a series of attacks left at least 38 people dead, including 5 soldiers. 2 rockets slammed into a military base north of Baghdad. 5 American troops were killed, 6 others wounded. A few hours later, a roadside bomb killed more than a dozen Iraqis. And insurgents may have found a new target. 3 boats reportedly exploded near an oil platform and 2 tankers off the coast of Basra. 2 sailors were killed, 5 wounded. Despite the violence, U.S. officials believe the attacks may be slowing down.
The numbers that we are seeing over the past 2 weeks, 10 days, are demonstrably lower than we'd seen in the first 2 weeks in April.
We have tough work in Iraq. It's been tough weeks for America.
A fragile ceasefire remains in effect in Fallujah, but Marines are threatening to renew their attacks if insurgents don't disarm soon. A week after her body was found in Minnesota, friends and family of Drew Shodine gathered to say goodbye. The 22-year-old college student was laid to rest this afternoon. So many people turned out for the service, many were moved to tents outside. Shodine disappeared 5 months ago after leaving her job at a North Dakota mall. A convicted sex offender has been charged in her disappearance and now may face murder charges. An Ohio priest is behind bars tonight, charged with killing a nun more than 24 years ago. The Reverend Gerald Robinson is accused of stabbing a 71-year-old nun 30 times and then strangling her inside a Toledo chapel back in 1980. Police reopened the case just 5 months ago and say new technology led them to Robinson. Church officials are cooperating with police.
And we'll continue to be responsive to their needs and what they need our help in. But certainly we want to be also emotionally and spiritually supportive of the Sisters of Mercy, Father Robinson, and any other people who are involved in this process. And we await justice to be done.
Police are not saying what they believe the motive is in this case.
From Central Virginia's most experienced meteorologists, this is NBC 12 First Warning Weather.
All right, the satellite and radar picture shows that we actually had a good amount of sunshine today. A few puffy cumulus clouds moved on throughout the day, and we have a few that are moving in overnight. And I think we'll basically have mostly clear skies, but partly cloudy skies as we head toward morning. We do have some moisture that's headed our way, and it might get into our region as early as tomorrow afternoon. But this is what we're keeping an eye on, this front that is stationary south of us. Eventually, this is going to become a warm front and slide northward. But this is actually the cold front that pushed on through last night and started to usher in that cooler air. We had northerly breezes today, and that allowed our temperatures to only top off in the 70s as opposed to the 80s like we've been seeing pretty much all week long. So a cooler day today as this front pushes southward. Lots of showers and thunderstorms in the Mississippi Valley. A tornado watch in effect for parts of southern Illinois and Indiana and western Tennessee and Kentucky right now. That's with those thunderstorms that are going on at this hour. But what we're concentrating on is just a cooler night ahead. Last night we dropped into the mid-60s. We're already cooler than last night's low. So we're going to be cooler tonight than last night. 62 at the airport, a dew point of 55. We've got east-southeast winds right around 8 miles per hour. Some spots are already in the 50s. We've got 59 now, Williamsburg, Chincoteague 54, 56 in Virginia Beach, 63 though out in Fredericksburg, Charlottesville 62 at this hour, and 64 in Petersburg. So there is that front that is south of us. A few isolated storms popping up earlier in the evening over the mountains. But for the most part, the precipitation is going to stay out of our region for tonight. A few more clouds tomorrow during the day as the system gets a little bit closer to us. And as this front moves on through tomorrow night, a couple of showers of possibility, then a brief warm up. It looks like temperatures on Monday will warm up into the mid 70s. So not a big time warm up, not like what we saw last week, but compared to what we'll see tomorrow, a warm up on Monday. Then this cold front moves through during the day Monday, brings us some scattered showers and thunderstorms, and then as it pushes eastward, we'll have a reinforcing shot of cooler air move in for Tuesday. So 48 overnight, the low temperature, a lot cooler than the lows we've seen the past several days, it looks like. Partly cloudy skies toward morning, and then as the day progresses tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies. A couple of showers possible late in the day with highs in the upper 60s, it looks like. A better chance of those showers and storms on Monday, and high temperatures right around 75. And as that cold front pushes east of the region, we'll have high temperatures only on Tuesday in the mid 60s, mostly cloudy skies, an isolated shower possible. Not a big deal in terms of rainfall on Tuesday. We'll dry out though by Wednesday. The sun comes back out and we start to warm back up. And the next chance for some showers and storms runs into the region next Saturday.
Those temperatures are pretty nice next week.
Much more comfortable than what we've seen the past several days.
Absolutely. Thanks, Amy.
Sure.
Joe Sullivan in with sports. If you're a football fan, this gets your blood boiling a little bit. Weird day, though.
How about Matt Schaub playing as the same team as Michael Vick, UVA guy, Virginia Tech guy,
Very
same team. It will happen. A strange start to the NFL draft today. The San Diego Chargers picked quarterback Eli Manning, then traded him to the New York Giants for Phillip Rivers and some draft picks. Here's a look at the top players taken today in the NFL draft. Eli Manning was drafted first by the Chargers. He goes to the Giants for Phillip Rivers, Giants' third-round pick this year, and the Giants' first and fifth picks next year. With the second pick in the draft, the Raiders chose Robert Gallery, 323 pounds. The offensive tackle is from Iowa. With the third pick in the NFL draft, the Arizona Cardinals chose Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald caught 22 touchdown passes last year at Pittsburgh. With the fourth pick in the NFL draft, Giants picked David Rivers, then traded him to the San Diego Chargers. Those are your four top picks in the NFL draft today. The Washington Redskins had the fifth pick in the first round of the NFL draft. The Skins chose Sean Taylor, a safety from the University of Miami. Taylor, 6'2", 231 pounds. He had 188 tackles and 14 interceptions at Miami. Last season, Taylor was a first-team All-American and was a finalist for the Jim Thorpe Award given to the nation's top defensive back. Skins chose Utah State tight end Chris Cooley in the third round in a trade with the Saints. With the eighth pick in the first round of the NFL draft, the Atlanta Falcons chose D'Angelo Hall. The Chesapeake native and former Virginia Tech standout will join Michael Vick and Matt Schaub in Atlanta. Kevin Jones slipped all the way to 30th in the first round. The Virginia Tech tailback will play for the Detroit Lions. The Lions had a nice draft today. Let's review. UVA quarterback Matt Schaub was picked late in the third round, just over an hour ago. How about Schaub and Vick on the same team? Rounds 4 through 7 of the NFL draft take place on Sunday. This afternoon in Blacksburg, Virginia Tech held its maroon and white spring football game. Hokies opened the season in August against Rose Bowl champ Southern Cal. It was 73 degrees today at kickoff in Blacksburg. Over 30,000 fans on hand for this football game. Tech quarterback Brian Randall is picked off by Eric Green. That led to a white field goal. In the second quarter, Marcus Vick at quarterback goes up top. Nice looking pass, 30